Hello my dear scholars, my name is Shiv Pratap Singh. Today I am here to continue my lecture series on building materials. Click on the I button if you want to see previous videos of this lecture series. Today I wanna go through the consistency test of cement. So consistency test is performed by using a Biget apparatus. In this test we used to do certain types of test. Initial setting time test, final setting time test, soundness test, and strength test. All these four is called standard consistency test. Today we will discuss about only these 2 points: initial setting time test and final setting time test of cement. So in order to find out initial setting time and final setting time, soundness and strength, a parameter is referred which is standard consistency test. Okay, in order to find out initial setting time or final setting time and soundness and strength, the parameter referred which referred all these 4 points is called standard consistency test. Okay, standard consistency of cement is consistency or viscosity of cement paste. Cement paste means cement plus water, okay, which allow penetration of 10 mm Biget plunger up to 33 to 35 mm from top. Okay, we have a Biget plunger something like this. We have a Biget plunger which is something like this. So standard consistency test is consistency or viscosity of cement paste which allow the penetration of, we used to penetrate this Biget apparatus in a mold which containing cement, and when we used to penetrate this Biget apparatus, the standard consistency is that thing, then only 10 mm this plunger penetrate the cement only 10 mm. Okay, and up to 35 mm 33 to 35 mm from the top, up to 33 to 35 mm from the top. This is for initial time setting and this is for final setting time test. Okay, later we used to discuss the whole practical things, or the whole theoretical part of this final setting time test, and how we do the initial setting time test and final setting time test by using Biget apparatus. Okay, in a standard consistency test, we determine water content at which the 10 mm Biget plunger penetrate 33 to 35 mm from the top. This water content is called water content for the standard consistency test. Okay, look, when in which we used to when plunger penetrates 10 mm to 10 mm and 33 to 35 mm from the top is from penetrate to a cement which is placed on a mold. Then the water content which is added to the cement, we used to say water paste, it means water plus cement. Then water content which is added at which cement is called a water content for standard consistency test. Okay, this water content is known as water content for standard consistency test. Okay, standard consistency standard consistency test is performed by Biget apparatus. Of course, standard consistency test is performed by Biget apparatus. Okay, let me note about something about procedure, something about standard consistency test. this standard consistency test is to determine initial setting time test, final setting time test, soundness test, and strength test. Of course, strength. Okay. And what standard consistency test of cement is? It is a consistency or viscosity. It is consistency of cement paste which allow penetration about to 10 which which allows penetration of 10 mm wicket plunger to 33 to 35 mm from top. Look, previously we do a little mistake. This 10 mm is the height of this. Okay, we have a 10 mm of plunger which penetrate 33 to 35 mm from the top of this mold which containing cement content. Okay, basically we have a needle for initial setting time test. Sorry, we have a needle for initial setting time test which penetrate in a mold for getting the initial setting time test, and we have a needle and I have a circular point for final setting time test which penetrate about 0.5 mm in this cement mold. Okay, and in this it penetrates about 33 to 35 mm from the top. Okay, I'm again so sorry for this mistake. It is 10 mm is the length of this plunger. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, and the next point is about a standard consistency test. We determine water content at which the bucket. Okay, the same thing, that the water content which add water content at which the water content which we add water content which add on cement paste, that content of water is called standard consistency. Water content for standard consistency, that is water content for standard consistency. Okay, and standard consistency is performed in Biget apparatus. Okay, so now we discuss about something about Biget apparatus. What is Biget apparatus? Wicket apparatus. Okay, wicket apparatus consists of wicket mould which is connected by a movable rod. Okay, uh, wicket apparatus is something like this. We have a plate here, and we have a mould like like something like this. Okay, in which we used to place here cement paste, and we have a movable rod here having some notations, and we used to plug here pin or having circulated rod for final setting time and pin for initial setting time test. It is a wicket apparatus is something like this. You used to go through the internet and check what a wicket apparatus actually look like there. Okay, so the basic points of wicket apparatus is weight of the movable rod is about 300 gram. Okay, weight of movable rod is about 300 gram, and height of the wicket mold is about 40 mm. Height of this wicket mold is about 40 mm. Okay, for standard consistency test, 10 mm plunger is attached to the movable rod. Here we attached 10 mm plunger. Okay, we have 10 mm plunger, Okay. And 1 millimeter square needle is attached for the initial setting time test, and 5 and Muller clock is attached for mobile rod for final setting time test. Okay, so that's the same thing. We have a 1 millimeter needle, 1 millimeter square needle for initial setting time test, and on that needle, on below of that needle, we used to place a 5 mm circular, a small circular, something like pebble, of circular pebble, which we used to put on the bottom side of the needle, which we use for the penetration of that cement. Okay, this is for the a circular pebble, like, okay, uh, which this is for the final setting time test. Okay, now we used to discuss about the procedure for standard consistency test. What basically we used to do for standard consistency test. Okay, so procedure, how we do the standard consistency test. We take a 500 gram of cement is filled in wicked mold with 24% of water. What we do, we take a 500 gram of cement in mold. Okay, and add about 20% of water, 20% of distilled water. Okay, uh, and then wicket apparatus, then on wicket apparatus, a plunger is generally lowered up to the surface of the cement paste and then released quickly. Okay, then on wicket apparatus, a plunger lower. Look, one thing, when we add the water, then time start for the initial setting time test. Okay, this is the time when we add and mix this cement paste. When on that time, when we add water on the cement powder, that time the you used to start your stopwatch for the initial setting time test. Okay, and next point is the penetration of 10 mm plunger is noted down. Okay, we have a 10 mm plunger. We used to penetrate on that mold which containing cement paste, and we used to note that penetration of plunger is noted. Okay, now the test is performed at different water contents. I used to take a different amount of water and perform these tests. Okay, the water content at which 10 mm plunger penetrate about 33 to 35 from the top represent water content for the standard consistency test. Okay, the best water content, the best percentage of water content consistency test is that one which the plunger penetrates about in which the plunger penetrates traits about 33 to 35 from the top. This that water content is water content for standard consistency. Yes, water content for standard consistency. Okay, this is all about the standard consistency test. Now we'll discuss about something, initial setting time test. Okay, and something about final setting time test. So initial setting time test and final setting time test. Okay, so when water is added to the cement, it is converted into plastic form, and for some span of time the cement remains plastic. After some time, cement start losing its plasticity. Okay, when we add some water on a cement powder. Okay, we add some water on a cement powder. This is cement in powder form. When we add water in cement powder, it is converted into plastic form. Firstly, it is converted into plastic form, and then after then for some span of time, the cement start for some span of time, cement remain its plasticity. After some time, cement start losing their plasticity. Okay, the time perform mixing of water into cement when it start to lose its plasticity is known as initial setting time test. Look, when we used to when we used to put water here and put water, that you should start your time in your stopwatch when we used to put in water here, and when the cement start losing their plasticity, that at that point is the initial setting time test. Okay, how you used to calculate that when cement start losing its penetrate penetrate the cement by using by using 10 mm plunger, when and which containing here needle. When this needle is penetrate about 33 to 35 mm on that mold which having cement paste, at that time, that is your initial setting time. Okay, and what about final setting time test? uh, in- One point remaining for initial setting time test. After some time, cement loses all its plasticity, and time is mixing of water and losing all its plasticity is called a final setting. Let's discuss about something final setting time test. Okay, look, we have remaining some basic points on initial setting time test. Let me complete first initial setting time test. Okay, so for the test of initial setting time test, 1 millimeter square was that same thing. Okay, for this test of initial setting time test, we require for 1 millimeter square needle which is attached to movable rod in wicket apparatus. Okay, we require a needle like this which is attached to movable rod in wicket apparatus. This rod, why we use this needle? This needle is penetrate in mold which containing cement paste for knowing the initial setting time test. Cement sample is taken and mixed with 0.85 p. Cement sample is taken and mixed with 0.85 p. What is 0.85 p? P is equal to p is water required for standard consistency test. Water required for standard consistency test. Okay, and 1 millimeter square is gently lowered to the surface of the cement and released quickly. Earlier it penetrate till bottom of mold. That's the same thing. And 1 millimeter of and this 1 millimeter square needle is penetrate to this mold, and it is about and when the penetration about 33 to 35 mm of the 33 to 35 mm and 33 to 35 mm of that cement, that time is initial setting time test. Okay, and the time difference from the mixing of water, same thing. When the time difference from the mixing of water and the when the cement is loses its plasticity is called initial setting time test. Okay, basically for the cement like OPC, the initial setting time test is about less than 30 minutes. Okay, and now we discuss whole thing about now we go for the final setting time test. Okay, for this test about 5 mm annular collar is attached to the movable rod. Okay, we used to attach a circular annular collar attached to a movable rod in wicket apparatus and attached annular collar of 5 mm, and sample preparation was and same thing. And sample preparation is same. The sample of the mold and containing paste is same as we used to discuss earlier in initial setting time test. Okay, annular collar is lowered to surface and released quickly. What here is done? We have mold containing cement paste, annular collar released suddenly, and it is released till it have about 0.5 mm penetration. When we get only 0.5 mm penetration, that time is our final setting time. Okay, so time is noted when needle of annular collar marks the surface but collar itself could not mark. Okay, that time is T2. Let me take initial setting time is T1 and this time is about T2. Okay, and the time duration between noted time t2 and the time at which water is mixed is called final setting time test. The time at which we get t2 and the difference between the time when we add water and the time when we get our t2, that difference is that time duration is our final setting time. Okay, and for OPC it is not more than 600 minute, not more than 600 minute, about 10 hours. Okay, this is all about final setting test. Okay, watch this video again, and do one thing, you should look wicket apparatus in the internet. Okay, and you also should look the whole practical in YouTube or in internet. Okay, after looking that practical, you used to watch this video again for better understanding purpose. Okay, or you after watching this video, you used to go and do this practical by your own. Okay, you take a small mold, not a bigger apparatus. Take a small mold and put about 300 gram of cement and do this test. Okay, not exact, you can't get exact number of initial setting time test and final setting time test, but you get some idea about how this practical is gone. Okay, you get a lot of ideas about this initial setting time test and final setting time test after doing that practical. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Till then, take care. Good day.